Welcome to the Blockbuster Bin, a series where I dig around and find movies that you might not have heard of, and try to convince you to give them a shot, without giving away too many details. Today's movie? Minari. What really is the American dream? Who's it for? And how do you know if you've achieved it? If I had to ask you what you would describe as the American dream, what would your answer be? Would it be a big house with a picket fence? Would it be a six-figure job? And how much is it worth to you? What would you allow it to cost you to achieve the American dream? Minari is not a movie that's really trying to give any answers to these questions. Rather, it's just telling the story that they wanted to tell. In that way, it's one of my favorite kinds of movies. It doesn't tell you what to think. No, not you. Not like that. Minari is mostly in Korean, and I know that might be a setback for some people, but its story is profoundly American. If you've never watched a movie in a foreign language before, this is a great one to start with. A story of a struggling family just trying to make ends meet in the 1980s, immigrating to America and fighting for a better life. But what really is so special about this movie, and why does it work so well? Minari is full of grounded, authentic performances across the board. Each member of the Yi family has their own idea of what this new dream life could be like. At the beginning of the movie, the most obvious motivation is Jacob Yi, him wanting to start this new life, create a new future for his family. But as the movie progresses, you kind of start to see the different motivations of each character. And as you start to understand the kids and the parents and the grandma, all of these motivations and frustrations kind of crash into each other. This movie does a really good job of making you care about all of the characters. And it's pretty easy to put yourself in the place of any one of them. I think at equal times I related to the kids a lot, and I also related to Steven Yeun's character. The chemistry between the actors is phenomenal. All of them work really well off of each other, and you genuinely believe that this is a family who's been through a lot together and just really wants to make this future work for them. The idea of what this movie is not exactly the most original, but what makes it so unique is the dynamic of this family. Their Korean heritage and how they interweave that with being American. The parents, obviously being from Korea, want to keep a lot of the tradition and the ways of living, but the kids have lived most of their lives in America, and so there's a lot of clashing there, especially when the grandma comes to live with them. The kids speak more English, they're a little bit more nervous about some of the things that grandma brings back for them, and it's a really interesting dynamic to watch as they're trying to maintain where they've come from while also trying to blend in with this new environment that is a little bit more hostile than they were expecting. Overall, the characters really work for me. They're written incredibly well, their motivations are well established, and you understand why each character has their own obstacles and frustrations they have to overcome in this new environment. They're also acted incredibly well. There's no one here that's giving a bad performance. Everyone is knocking it out of the park. And you really need that, because the plot of this movie is not incredibly dense. It's not complicated to figure out what's going on. What drives this movie is the characters. And they're all incredible. This is the part of the video where I have to be the most vague. Because again, you need to watch this movie for yourself. But I will share a few things. For one, the pacing of this movie is done really, really well. You have these very real character moments, and they're the most important moments in the entire movie. There's a lot of movies that have issues with pacing. A lot of movies that don't know what to do when they need to slow down and flesh out the characters better. Minari does not have this problem. This movie is not exactly an action-packed thrill ride. There's no mustache-twirling villain, there's no big fight scenes. Well, there's no physical fight scenes, is what I should say. Never mind. The point of what I was trying to say is that this isn't an action-packed movie, so it could be easy for it to be a little bit boring, but the pacing is really well handled. The movie has this great ability to go between moving at a steady pace, moving the plot along, but then also slowing down for important moments that reveal who the family is, and why these characters are reacting the way they are to this new environment. They're originally in California, but now they're moving to Arkansas, which, as someone from California who has visited many states in the South, yeah, big difference. As the movie keeps going, you begin to understand the Yi family better and better. It starts with you knowing all their motivations, their big dreams for what this new life could look like, and then the obstacles and challenge comes and you see how they respond to that. At times, you'll have a montage of Jacob working on the farm, and there's excitement and there's hope, but then the movie will stop to show us how a character is negatively reacting to something. Minari is really good at slowing down to show the necessary emotion that we need to believe this is a real family. The uncomfortable moments that you don't really want to be a part of, that aren't as romantic as the American dream, or what you would assume a new life in America would look like. But these scenes where they slow down and show this emotion are really the glue that holds the story together. In between the obstacles, the challenges, the different things that they have to figure out how to deal with, it resonates with the emotions that the characters are feeling. And it all comes together to make a movie that feels like you get to sit in on this family's life, and it feels authentic. This last part is all the things that I like that don't really need their own section, but I still want to talk about. First thing, the colors in this movie are wonderful. They're bright, they're colorful, but they're also sometimes sad and neutral. Minari uses color to communicate emotions, whether it's joy, hope, sadness, stress. There's warmer tones or cooler tones, but they're all in service of the story. It's done really well. There's so many beautiful shots in this movie because of the colors. The camera work is also phenomenal. There are these beautiful steady shots that communicate hope and Jacob's dream for the future. Sometimes they're wider, sometimes they're close up, but they're always steady and moving with these brighter colors that really communicate what could be this farm that he really wants. But then there's also closer shots that have shaky cam, and they show the desperation and the frustration and the uncertainty that the family's feeling. This movie is stunning to look at. Combine the colors and the camera work with these great big emotional moments that really resonate with the audience, and you just have this really emotionally impactful movie. Also, the humor in this movie works really well. The movie is not constantly trying to make you laugh, but when it does stop for those comedic moments, they're really well timed. I honestly didn't expect there to be different moments where I laughed as hard as I did. Because the movie is about this family's struggle and the deep emotion of being in a new place, when there are these comedic moments, it brings some much needed levity. It's a very nice breath of fresh air. And a lot of the comedy comes from the kids, especially the son, and they do a great job with their comedic timing. This movie was incredibly relevant when it came out in 2020, but I think its relevance has only grown, especially within the last year. I'm not here to make you feel a certain way about current events or about politics, and neither is this movie. But I do think that this movie is a beautiful reminder of what the American dream has always been about, and who it was really made for. American or not, Korean or not, you need to watch this movie. It's about family. It's about appreciating the people that came before us. It's about dreaming for something even better for our future family. So, that's Minari. I could go on for a lot longer about all the reasons this movie is incredible. But again, the point of the Blockbuster bin is to quickly review a movie without giving away too many details so that you will go and watch it. So, if you haven't seen it, go and watch Minari. It's an incredible movie that's had a pretty big impact on me for the last few weeks. If you have seen it, let me know what you think about the movie in the comments below. Do you disagree with me? Do you agree with me? What are some of your favorite parts? If you haven't, go watch it. It's incredible. Minari is worth your time. Like, share, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.